Mariana was radiant on her first day of work as a dishwasher at La Bella Cucina. Her eyes shone with a mixture of nervousness and hope as she walked through the busy streets of the city center, her hands tightly gripping the handle of her worn handbag. She was wearing a simple but clean uniform, which she had ironed the night before, trying to make her feel professional and confident. She had finally found a stable job, something essential to support her son, Fabio. Fabio, with his big, curious eyes, was everything to her. Ever since her father had abandoned them, Mariana had worked hard to ensure that the little one didn't lack anything. And now with this job, she felt she could offer a little more stability to her life. As she entered the back door of the restaurant, she was greeted by the manager, a tall, burly man called Carlos. His cold eyes scanned her from top to bottom, and he gave her a quick nod before leading her into the kitchen. The condition of the kitchen was dismal. Pots piled high, dirty dishes strewn about, and a strong smell of grease in the air. Mariana felt her stomach turn, but she kept a smile on her face, determined to do her best. "Welcome, Mariana," said Carlos without much ceremony. "I hope you know how to work quickly. We don't have time to waste here." "Yes, sir. I'll do my best," she replied, trying to keep her voice steady. Her first day was a mixture of exhaustion and determination. The hot water burned her hands as she washed endless piles of dishes. Her arms ached from scrubbing, but the image of Fabio's smile motivated her to keep going. During her short breaks, she allowed herself to take a deep breath and think about the future, about how each clean dish brought her closer to a better future for her son. However, not everything was easy. Some of her co-workers weren't very receptive. She felt judgmental looks and heard whispers behind her back. Maria, one of the older cooks, couldn't hide her disdain. "The new dishwasher thinks she's going to change the world," she said, in a tone that Mariana knew was deliberately audible. Mariana ignored the comments and focused on her work. When it was time to leave, her feet were sore and her back throbbed, but there was a gleam of satisfaction in her eyes. She had survived the first day. When she returned home, she found Fabio already asleep in bed. She sat down next to him and stroked his soft hair, feeling tears of exhaustion and relief roll down her face. "It's going to be okay, my love," he whispered. "Mommy will manage." She knew the road would be hard, but she was determined to face every obstacle with courage. And so, with a heart full of hopes and fears, Mariana prepared to face her second day at work, aware that each step would take her closer to a better future for her and her son. The days passed and Mariana's routine at the restaurant began to stabilize, albeit exhaustingly. Each morning she woke up before the sun rose, prepared Fabio's breakfast, and left him with her neighbor Donna Clara before heading off to work. Each night she returned home with a tired body, but a heart full of determination. The kitchen at La Bella Cucina was a chaotic environment. Chefs shouting orders, waiters rushing around, and the constant pressure to keep everything clean and in order. Mariana felt the physical exhaustion building up, but her motivation remained unshaken. The thought of a better future for Fabio was what kept her going. Things weren't easy with Carlos. The manager seemed to take pleasure in pointing out her mistakes, no matter how small. "Mariana, these dishes aren't clean enough," he said with a stern tone. "You need to be faster and more efficient." "Yes, sir," she replied, trying not to let her frustration show. In addition to Carlos's criticism, Mariana faced bullying from her colleagues. Maria, the cook, continued to make nasty comments at every opportunity. "Maybe you should look for another job, something you can do properly," she teased. Mariana swallowed the words she wanted to say and concentrated on her work. She knew she couldn't afford to lose that job. Every penny was needed to support Fabio. Despite the difficulties, there were moments of relief. Fernando, a young waiter, was one of the few people who showed sympathy. "Hey Mariana, want some coffee?" he offered one afternoon during a short break. "Thanks, Fernando," she replied, gratefully accepting the cup. "You're doing a great job. Don't let them get you down," he said, giving her an encouraging smile. These small gestures of kindness helped Mariana to keep going. She knew she had to be strong, not just for herself, but especially for Fabio. One evening, on her way home, she found Fabio waiting for her with a drawing in his hand. "Mom, I made this for you," he said with a proud smile. On the paper there was a drawing of the two of them holding hands, with a big heart around them. Mariana felt her eyes fill with tears of happiness. "It's beautiful, my love. "I'll treasure it," she said, hugging her son. "Text here." She had gotten used to it, but she wasn't prepared for what was to follow. On a seemingly ordinary day, the restaurant was busier than usual. Mariana was washing an endless pile of dishes when she heard Carlos call her name urgently. "Mariana, come to my office now." His voice was firm and carried a tone of authority that made her heart race. Mariana quickly wiped her hands and followed Carlos into the office. As she entered, she saw Carla, the restaurant owner's wife, with a stern expression on her face. On the table was a luxurious pen, clearly expensive. "Have a seat, Mariana," said Carlos, pointing to the chair in front of the table. "What's going on?" Mariana asked, trying to control her nervousness. "We found this pen in your cupboard," said Carla, her eyes fixed on Mariana's. "It's a Mont Blanc, and it was a present from my husband. Can you explain how it got there?" Mariana felt the ground disappear beneath her feet. She knew she had never seen that pen before, let alone laid her hands on it. I don't know." "I've never seen that pen before," she replied, her voice trembling. "This is very serious, Mariana," said Carlos, crossing his arms. "Theft is a crime, and we don't tolerate it here." "I didn't steal anything," Mariana protested, feeling tears start to form. "Someone must have put that there." "Do you expect us to believe that?" said Carla with a tone of disdain. "Who would do such a thing?" Mariana realized that there was no point in arguing. The prejudice was already in place. Carlos stood up and pointed to the door. "You're fired, Mariana, and I suggest you get out of here before we call the police." Mariana left the office in a state of shock. She felt everyone's eyes on her as she picked up her things and left the restaurant. Tears flowed freely down her face as she walked down the street. What would she do now? How would she support Fabio? When she got home, she found her son playing on the living room floor. He looked at her with concern. "Mom, are you crying? What happened?" Mariana hugged Fabio tightly, trying to find words to explain the situation. "Mom lost her job, my love. But don't worry, we'll manage." The following weeks were filled with despair and uncertainty. Mariana looked for a job everywhere she could, but opportunities were scarce. Money was running out, and she needed to find a solution. It was then that she remembered the old abandoned house she had inherited from her grandfather. It was the only option left. Determined, she began to pack her bags. It was time to start again, even if it was in a precarious place. The abandoned house was in a remote, almost rural neighborhood. Mariana and Fabio traveled by bus to the end of the line, carrying only the essentials. The place looked abandoned, with broken windows and peeling paint. However, for Mariana, this house represented a new chance, a hope of starting over. When she opened the front door, she was greeted by a cloud of dust. Fabio sneezed, but his eyes shone with curiosity. "Is this our new home, Mom?" he asked, with a mixture of enthusiasm and uncertainty. "Yes, my love. We are going to make this place a home," replied Mariana, trying to sound confident. The first few days were dedicated to cleaning and basic repairs. Mariana worked tirelessly, scrubbing floors, fixing doors, and trying to make the place look habitable. Fabio helped as much as he could, turning the process into an adventure. "Look, Mom, I've found a secret room," he exclaimed one day while exploring the corridors. Mariana followed Fabio down to the basement, a place she hadn't yet had the courage to explore. Going downstairs, she lit a lantern and began to look around. Shadows danced on the walls, creating a spooky atmosphere, but Fabio's curiosity encouraged her to continue. It was then that she heard muffled moans. Mariana stopped, her heart beating fast. Following the sound, she found a locked door. With a joint effort, she and Fabio managed to open it, revealing a bound and wounded man. "Oh my God!" exclaimed Mariana, kneeling down beside him. "Fabio, get some water and a cloth, quickly." The man was weak, dehydrated, and covered in bruises. With trembling hands, Mariana cut the ropes that bound him and cleaned his wounds as best she could. "Who are you? What happened?" she asked as she helped him drink some water. "My name is Vinicius," he said, his voice hoarse. "I was kidnapped by my partner. He wanted me to transfer my company into his name. He left me here to die when I refused." Mariana felt a wave of compassion for the man. He was clearly in trouble, and she knew she had to help him. "You're safe now, Vinicius. Let's call the police and get you to hospital," she said, determined. Vinicius was taken to hospital, and after receiving the necessary care, he told his story to the police. Gregorio, his traitorous partner, was arrested. Mariana, for her part, continued to look after Vinicius during his recovery, bringing him food and water and keeping him company in his lonely moments. It was during this period that a strong friendship began to form between the two. Vinicius, grateful for Mariana's help, began to share more about his life and his passions. Mariana, in turn, found in Vinicius someone she could talk to and let off steam. The days passed, and the house that had once seemed like a temporary shelter began to turn into a home. Mariana and Fabio worked together to improve every corner, and Vinicius's presence brought a new energy to the place. And so, amid the difficulties, a new life began to take shape. Mariana felt that she was finally on the right track to building a better future for herself and Fabio, with Vinicius's unexpected help. As Vinicius recovered, the friendship between him and Mariana grew stronger. In gratitude for Mariana's help, Vinicius began to think of ways to repay her. He noticed her ability to repair and create things, a skill that could be transformed into something greater. "Mariana, have you ever thought about opening a sewing studio?" he asked one day, while they were having coffee in the small kitchen they had cleaned together. Mariana looked at him in surprise. The idea had never crossed her mind. Ever since she was young, she'd had a passion for sewing, but had never had the opportunity to turn it into anything more than a hobby. "I never thought about it seriously," she replied thoughtfully, "but I don't know where to start. I don't have the money to invest." Vinicius smiled with a twinkle in his eye. He had a plan. "I can help you. I have some contacts in the business area, and with a little initial investment, we can set something up right here," he said enthusiastically. "You have talent, Mariana, and you deserve a chance to show it to the world." Vinicius' proposal filled Mariana with hope. For the first time in a long time, she saw a real possibility of changing her life and that of Fabio. So they decided to start preparing to turn the house into a small workshop. Vinicius brought a new sewing machine and various materials, from fine fabrics to sewing accessories. Mariana was amazed by his generosity, but also determined not to disappoint him. The next few days were filled with intense work. Mariana spent hours creating unique pieces of clothing and accessories that reflected her creativity and skill. Fabio, for his part, loved to help, being the model for some of his mother's creations. With Vinicius's help, Mariana got her first customers. The pieces began to sell, and the atelier, which was initially just an idea, became a promising business. "I'm so proud of you, Mariana," said Vinicius one evening as they watched Fabio play in the yard. "You managed to turn a difficult situation into something wonderful." "I couldn't have done it without your help," she replied with a grateful smile. "You brought hope into our lives." The friendship between Mariana and Vinicius was beginning to grow into something deeper. There was a connection between them that went beyond gratitude or mutual help. It was a feeling of partnership, of unconditional support that strengthened them. Fabio had also become attached to Vinicius, seeing in him a father figure he never had. The three of them formed an unlikely family, but one full of love and support. As time went by, Mariana's atelier became well known in the neighborhood. People came from far and wide to buy her creations, and she began to have more orders than she could handle. That's when Vinicius suggested expanding the business. "We could hire some helpers, Mariana," he said as they analyzed the finances. "You're talented enough for that. Let's make this atelier grow." Mariana, her heart full of gratitude and determination, accepted the suggestion. They started looking for women in the community who had sewing skills, giving them the opportunity to work and learn. The atelier became not just a business, but a place of empowerment and unity. Mariana led the group with kindness and firmness, inspiring everyone to do their best. And so, in the midst of hard work and solidarity, a new hope blossomed. Mariana felt that she had finally found her purpose. She, Vinicius, and Fabio were building a life full of love, support, and new opportunities. As the sewing studio thrived, Mariana's life finally seemed to be on the right track. She, Vinicius, and Fabio formed a happy family, and the local community benefited from the business that brought new opportunities to many. but their hard-earned peace was about to be shattered. One sunny morning, Bernardo, the owner of the restaurant where Mariana had worked, appeared at the door of the studio. His face was marked by an expression of guilt and concern. "Mariana, can we talk?" he asked with a serious tone. Mariana felt a shiver run down her spine. She hadn't seen Bernardo since the day she was unjustly accused of theft and fired. She nodded and indicated a chair for him to sit down. "What happened, Bernardo?" she asked, trying to keep her voice calm. "I made a big mistake," he began, with a heavy sigh. "I recently found out that the accusation against you was set up by Carla. She was jealous of you, believing that I was paying too much attention to you." Mariana remained silent, absorbing his words. She felt a mixture of anger and relief. Finally, the truth was coming out. "I'm sorry, Mariana," Bernardo continued, his eyes full of remorse. "I was unfair and didn't give you the chance to defend yourself. Text here, but I don't need the job anymore. I've found my way and I'm happy with what I'm building here." Bernardo nodded, respecting her decision. "I understand, Mariana," he said, getting up. "If you need anything, I'll be happy to help." After Bernardo left, Mariana felt a sense of relief. The shadow of that injustice had finally been lifted, and she could move on with more confidence than ever. In the evening, while talking to Vinicius about what had happened, he held her hand and said, "I'm very proud of you, Mariana. Your strength and determination are inspiring." Mariana smiled, feeling a wave of gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you, Vinicius," she replied sincerely. "You brought light into our lives when everything seemed dark." Life continued to improve for Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio. The studio was thriving, and they were closer than ever. The house, which had once been just a refuge, was now a home full of love and hope. Mariana felt that she was finally in the right place, and with the truth revealed, she could move on without any shadow of the past, ready to face the future with courage and optimism. With the shadow of the false accusation finally lifted, Mariana felt an enormous weight lift off her shoulders. The sewing studio was thriving, and she was dedicated to creating new garments and meeting the growing demand from customers. Vinicius was by her side, helping with finances and logistics, while Fabio ran around the yard full of joy. One day, while organizing the orders with her helpers, Mariana received an unexpected visitor. She was an elegant woman with a shrewd eye called Clara, who introduced herself as an entrepreneur, interested in expanding the local fashion market. "I've heard great things about your creations, Mariana," said Clara, examining one of the pieces. "I'd like to discuss a possible partnership. We could take your pieces to a larger market." Mariana was surprised and excited by the proposal. It was an opportunity to expand her business and take her talent beyond the borders of the local community. "That sounds incredible, Clara," she replied, trying to contain her excitement. "I'd love to hear more about your proposal." Clara explained in detail how they could work together, taking Mariana's creations to well-known stores in the city. It would be a big step, but it would require more dedication and an increase in production. Mariana, after discussing it with Vinicius and his assistants, decided to accept the challenge. The partnership with Clara breathed new life into the atelier. New sewing machines were purchased, and more women from the community were hired, bringing income and opportunity to many families. The atelier's success has transformed the lives of everyone around it. Mariana became an inspirational figure in the community, known for her strength and generosity. Fabio grew up surrounded by love and opportunities, always encouraged by Mariana and Vinicius to follow his dreams. Vinicius, for his part, found in Mariana and Fabio a new reason to live. The relationship between him and Mariana blossomed into love. They married in a simple but meaningful ceremony, surrounded by friends and family who had supported them throughout their journey. "I never thought life could be so wonderful," said Mariana during the wedding reception, looking at Vinicius with eyes full of love. "We deserve this happiness," replied Vinicius, holding her hand, "and together we can achieve anything." Time passed and the sewing studio became a recognized brand in the city. Mariana's creations were appreciated for their quality and originality, and she was proud of every piece produced by her talented hands and those of her helpers. The house that was once just a refuge became a home full of life. Vinicius built a design studio next to the atelier, where he and Mariana could work together on new collections. Fabio, now older, helped out in the family business, learning the value of hard work and dedication. Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio lived happily, overcoming adversity and building a bright future together. Mariana's courage and determination turned a desperate situation into an opportunity for happiness and success. And so life went on, full of love, support, and new achievements, showing that with determination and courage, it is possible to overcome any obstacle and achieve happiness. The success of Mariana's atelier not only brought prosperity to her family, but also had a positive impact on the surrounding community. The once abandoned house became a center of activity and hope, where women of different ages found work and support. Everyone deserves a chance to start over. Everyone deserves a chance to start over, said Mariana during the inauguration of the project. I know what it's like to go through difficulties, and I want to help other women find their way. The project attracted the attention of the local media and several organizations that decided to support the initiative. Donations of materials and equipment started pouring in, allowing the atelier to expand its activities and serve even more people. Clara, Mariana's business partner, also got involved, organizing fashion events where the project's students' creations were exhibited and sold. These events not only helped financially, but also boosted the participants' self-esteem and confidence. Mariana, you're doing an incredible job, said Clara during one of these events. Your vision is transforming lives. Mariana smiled, feeling fulfilled. She knew that with the support of Vinicius, Fabio, and the community, she was making a difference. Meanwhile, Bernardo, the restaurant owner, watched Mariana's success from afar. He deeply regretted how he had treated her in the past and wanted to find a way to make amends. One day, he showed up at the studio again, this time with an offer of support. Mariana, I know I made a lot of mistakes with you, he began with a sincere look on his face. I'd like to help your social project by funding more courses and materials. Mariana, surprised by the offer, looked at Bernardo seriously. I appreciate your offer, Bernardo, she said after a moment's thought. If you're really sincere, I'll accept your help, but know that we're doing this for the community. Bernardo nodded, understanding the weight of her words. From that moment on, he became one of the project's main supporters, helping to expand the activities even further and reach more women in need. The impact of the social project was immense. Many women managed to change their lives, finding jobs and independence. The sewing studio has become a symbol of hope and transformation. You made it happen, Mariana, said Vinicius, holding her hand as they watched a group of women sewing together. Your courage and generosity are inspiring. We made it happen, corrected Mariana with a smile. It was a joint effort, and I'm very grateful to have you by my side. Life in the community continued to flourish, with new projects and initiatives springing up thanks to Mariana's example. The old abandoned house was now a place full of life, laughter, and learning, and so the story of Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio intertwined with that of many others, showing that with determination, support, and generosity, it is possible to transform not only one's own life, but also the lives of everyone around them. As the sewing studio and the social project continued to grow, Mariana and Vinicius decided to explore the history of the house they had turned into a home. They knew that the house had been inherited from Mariana's grandfather, but they knew little about the true history of the place. One day, while cleaning out the attic, they found an old wooden box full of old documents, photographs, and letters. It was a veritable treasure trove of memories and secrets from the past. Look at this, Vinicius, said Mariana, holding up a photograph yellowed by time. This is my grandfather when he was young. Vinicius took the photograph and looked at it with interest. Next to Mariana's grandfather, there was a young woman with a radiant smile. Who could this woman be? He asked, intrigued. Mariana began to read the letters, which revealed a story of love and sacrifice. Her grandfather, João, had fallen in love with a young woman called Isabella during his youth. They planned to get married and build a life together, but the war separated them. João was called up to fight, and Isabella waited for his return. The letters were full of promises and hopes, but one in particular caught Mariana's eye. It was a farewell letter written by Isabella, who was moving to another city after the war, believing that João would not return. It's a sad story, but also full of love, said Mariana with tears in her eyes. My grandfather must have suffered a lot. Vinicius hugged Mariana, feeling the depth of her emotions. Maybe we can find out some information about Isabella, he suggested. Who knows, there's more to this story that we can discover. Determined to investigate, Mariana and Vinicius went to the local library and searched through the old archives. After hours of searching, they found a record of Isabella. She had moved to a neighboring town and lived a long life but had never married. Mariana felt a deep connection with her grandfather's story. She decided she needed to do something to honor his and Isabella's memory. Together, she and Vinicius organized an exhibition in the studio, telling the story of João and Isabella through the letters and photographs they found. The exhibition attracted many visitors, including old friends and family who shared their own memories and stories. "This exhibition is a wonderful tribute," said an elderly visitor, who introduced herself as Ana, an old friend of Isabella. She always spoke so lovingly of João. It's good to see that their story hasn't been forgotten. Mariana felt a wave of gratitude and pride. The story of her grandfather and Isabella touched many people's hearts and brought to light the importance of love, memory, and shared history. After the exhibition, Mariana decided to create a permanent space in the studio, dedicated to the memory of her grandfather and Isabella. It was a place where people could come, learn about their story, and be inspired. "You've found a beautiful way to honor your grandfather," said Vinicius, admiring the newly created space. "And to keep the memory of a true love alive," replied Mariana with a smile. The rediscovery of the past brought a new dimension to Mariana's life. She felt that her family's story was now complete, and this inspired her even more to continue her work, helping others to find hope and happiness, just as she had. Time passed, and the lives of Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio continued to prosper. The sewing studio was in full swing, with new collections being launched regularly and demand growing every day. The social project was also expanding, helping more and more women to find a new direction in their lives. However, new challenges arose. One day, Mariana received a letter from the local government informing her that the house where they lived and worked was to be expropriated for the construction of a new housing complex. The news hit like a bombshell, shaking Mariana and the entire community that depended on the studio. "We can't let this happen," said Vinicius, as they discussed the situation in an emergency meeting with the atelier's employees. "We need to fight for this place." Mariana agreed. The house and studio meant much more than just a place to work. They were the heart of the community and a symbol of resistance and hope. They decided to mobilize all possible resources to prevent the expropriation. They started a campaign on social media, sharing the history of the studio and the importance of the work they were doing. The local community joined in, organizing protests and petitions to pressure the authorities to reconsider the decision. "We can't lose this place," said Clara during one of the protests. Mariana and the workshop have brought life and hope to so many people. The story gained repercussions in the media, and soon Mariana found herself giving interviews and taking part in public debates about the importance of preserving community spaces. The fight was hard, but she was determined not to give up. "This place is a symbol of everything we have achieved," she said in an emotional interview. "We're not going to let it be destroyed." While the legal battle raged, Mariana and Vinicius continued to work tirelessly in the studio. The community was more united than ever, and the support they received was a constant source of strength and inspiration. After months of struggle, they received some surprising news. The local government decided to review the expropriation decision, recognizing the atelier's importance to the community. The house and studio would be preserved, and Mariana received an official letter confirming that they could continue their work there. "We did it!" exclaimed Vinicius, hugging Mariana with joy. The victory was celebrated with a big party in the studio. Everyone who had supported the cause was present, and the atmosphere was one of pure happiness and relief. "This is more than a victory," said Mariana, looking at the house full of happy people. "It's proof that together we are strong and can overcome any challenge." The fight to preserve the studio has further strengthened the bonds between Mariana, Vinicius, Fabio, and the whole community. The house, which was already a symbol of resistance, now also represented collective strength and the importance of fighting for one's dreams. Mariana felt more motivated than ever to continue her work. The sewing studio expanded, and new partnerships were formed, bringing even more opportunities for everyone. And so life went on, full of challenges and achievements, but always guided by love, determination, and mutual support. Mariana knew that, with Vinicius and Fabio by her side, she could face anything and build an even brighter future. With the victory in the fight to preserve the studio, Mariana felt a new wave of determination and inspiration. Determined to further expand the positive impact of her work, she began to explore new opportunities and partnerships. One day, she received an unexpected invitation to take part in an international sustainable fashion fair. The event would bring together designers and entrepreneurs from all over the world, offering a platform to showcase their creations and share ideas about sustainable practices in fashion. "This is a great opportunity, Mariana," said Vinicius, excited by the news. "We can show the world the incredible work you're doing here." Mariana agreed. The fair would be a chance to bring the studio's creations to a wider audience and learn new techniques and ideas that could be applied to their work. With the support of Clara and other partners, they began preparing for the event. They selected the best pieces, organized presentations, and prepared materials about the atelier's history and its mission to empower women through sewing. The international fair was a real success. Mariana's creations caught the attention of many visitors and fashion critics who were impressed by the quality and originality of the pieces, as well as the inspiring story behind the atelier. "Her creations are wonderful," said a renowned sustainable fashion designer after visiting Mariana's stand. "I would love to collaborate with you on a future project." Mariana felt deeply honored and excited by the possibilities that arose. The partnerships formed at the fair opened new doors, bringing even more visibility and opportunities to the atelier. Back home, Mariana and Vinicius worked together to implement the new ideas and techniques they had learned at the fair. The atelier has become a true hub for innovation and sustainability, attracting more and more attention and recognition. The local community has also benefited from the new partnerships. More women have been hired, and new courses and workshops have been offered, empowering even more people to find a path through sewing. "We're reaching new horizons, Mariana," said Vinicius, as they watched the movement in the atelier. "It's all thanks to your vision and determination." "I couldn't have done it without you, Vinicius," she replied gratefully. "Together, we're making a difference." Fabio, now a teenager, also became involved in the family business. He showed a talent for design and began to create his own pieces, bringing a new perspective and energy to the atelier. "I'm so proud of you, my son," said Mariana when she saw one of his creations being praised by a client. "You're following your dreams, and that makes me very happy." Life went on with challenges and new achievements. Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio formed a strong and united team, always ready to support each other and face any obstacle that came their way. And so Mariana's story continued to unfold, full of love, determination, and hope. Each new challenge was an opportunity for growth and learning, and each achievement proof that with courage and support, it is possible to transform one's own life and the lives of many others. While Mariana's studio continued to thrive and expand its horizons, life continued with its mix of challenges and surprises. In the midst of this journey, an unexpected reunion was about to take place. One day, while organizing orders in her studio, Mariana received a surprise visit. An elegant, familiar-looking woman walked through the door. It took Mariana a few seconds to recognize the face she hadn't seen for many years. "Isabella?" she asked, her voice trembling with emotion. The woman smiled and nodded. "Yes, Mariana, it's me," said Isabella with a warm look on her face. "I can't believe I'm finally here after so many years." Mariana felt tears forming. Isabella was her great-aunt, the woman her grandfather João had loved so much and about whom she had discovered so many things in recent months. "How did you find me?" Mariana asked, still surprised. "After the exhibition about João, I received several letters and visits from people who knew our story. One of them told me about you in the studio. I decided it was time to meet you," replied Isabella with a nostalgic smile. Mariana invited Isabella to sit down and offered her some tea. The two began to talk about the past, sharing stories and memories. Isabella talked about her life, her love for João, and how she had kept these memories for so many years. "I never stopped thinking about him," said Isabella with a sad look on her face. "But life took its course and I had to find my own way." Text here. Mariana felt that somehow her family was more complete, and this inspired her even more to continue her work at the studio. Vinicius and Fabio were also delighted to meet Isabella. Her presence brought a new energy to the home, and conversations about the past strengthened family ties even more. "You're an incredible woman, Mariana," Isabella said during a family dinner. "I'm sure João would be very proud of you." "Thank you, Isabella," replied Mariana, her eyes full of gratitude. "Your story is an inspiration to me." As time went by, Isabella became a constant figure in Mariana's life. She helped out in the studio, sharing her skills and experience, and was a constant source of support and wisdom. Isabella's presence brought a new dimension to the lives of Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio. Together they continued to build a future full of hope and love, honoring the memories of the past and embracing the opportunities of the present. And so, Mariana's life continued with new challenges and revelations, but always guided by love, family, and the determination to make a difference. Every day was a new chance to grow and learn, and every encounter was proof that human connections are what really matter. With Isabella's presence, Mariana's studio took on even more life and meaning. Isabella's stories and skills brought a new perspective, enriching the atelier's work and culture. The women in the community loved hearing her talk about the past and learning from her experiences. Mariana decided to expand the atelier's social project, creating a new wing dedicated to education and training. With Isabella's help, they began offering courses not only in sewing, but also in handicrafts, entrepreneurship, and personal development. "We want to empower more women, giving them the tools to build a better future," said Mariana during the inauguration of the new wing. "Together, we can transform this community." The courses attracted a growing number of participants. Women of all ages came to learn, share, and grow. The atelier became a real community center, where the exchange of knowledge and experiences was constant. "This place has changed my life," said one of the students during a community meeting. "Before, I didn't know what to do to support my family. Now I have my own business and can offer my children a better future." These testimonies filled Mariana's heart with pride and gratitude. She knew that with the help of Vinicius, Fabio, and Isabella, she was making a real difference in the lives of many people. One day, while organizing materials for a new course, Mariana received an unexpected visit. It was a team of journalists interested in doing a story on the atelier's impact on the community. "Your story is inspiring, Mariana," said the reporter as they prepared for the interview. "We want to show the world how you have transformed the lives of so many people." Mariana accepted the opportunity with humility, knowing that the visibility could bring even more support and resources to the project. The story aired and had a huge impact, attracting national and international attention. "We received so many messages of support and offers of partnership," said Vinicius excitedly as he read through the emails. "We can expand our work even further." Mariana felt a wave of emotion. She knew that with more support, she could help even more people and make an even bigger difference. "Let's seize this opportunity and make our work grow," she said, determined. With the new resources, the Sewing Studio has become a non-profit organization dedicated to empowering women through education and handicraft work. Mariana and Vinicius hired more instructors, expanded the courses, and created mentoring programs for young entrepreneurs. The community around the atelier flourished. New businesses sprang up, the local economy strengthened, and people's quality of life improved significantly. Mariana felt that she was finally realizing her dream of creating a positive and lasting impact. Meanwhile, Fabio continued to grow, showing an incredible talent for design and management. He became more and more involved in the studio's work, bringing new ideas and energy. "I'm so proud of you, Fabio," said Mariana, when she saw one of his creations being praised by clients and critics. "You're following your dreams and helping to transform lives." Isabella's presence continued to be a constant source of inspiration and support. She had become a loved and respected figure in the community, sharing her stories and skills with everyone around her, and so the lives of Mariana, Vinicius, Fabio, and Isabella continued with challenges and achievements, but always guided by love, determination, and a commitment to making a difference. Every day was a new opportunity to grow, learn, and transform, and every achievement was proof that, with courage and support, it is possible to build a bright future for everyone. With the sewing studio's growing success and recognition, Mariana and Vinicius began to explore the possibility of expanding their operations beyond the city's borders. They received several proposals for international partnerships, and the idea of taking their creations and social impact around the world began to become a tangible reality. One day, they received an invitation to take part in an international conference on sustainable fashion in Paris. It was an incredible opportunity to share their practices and learn from other industry leaders. "This could open many doors for us, Mariana," said Vinicius, excited by the news. "We need to seize this chance," Mariana agreed, seeing the conference as a platform to expand the reach of her work and connect with a global network of sustainable fashion professionals and activists. "Let's get everything ready and make our best presentation," she said, determined. Preparation for the conference was intense. They selected the best creations, prepared detailed presentations on the social and environmental impact of their work, and trained to answer the most diverse questions. When they arrived in Paris, they were warmly welcomed by the conference organizers. The city was vibrant with designers, entrepreneurs, and activists from all over the world, all united by the common goal of promoting sustainable fashion. Mariana and Vinicius presented their work in a panel discussion, sharing the history of the studio and the challenges and achievements they encountered along the way. The presentation was a success, attracting the attention of investors, partners, and journalists. "You are doing an incredible job," said a French businesswoman after the presentation. "I'd like to discuss a possible partnership to bring your creations to our stores." Mariana and Vinicius were excited by the proposal. A partnership with the French businesswoman would not only expand the distribution of their pieces, but also strengthen the social and environmental impact of their work. "We're ready to take our mission to the next level," said Mariana with a smile. Back in Brazil, they set to work on expanding the studio internationally. With the help of new partners and investors, they opened an online store, making it easier for customers all over the world to buy their creations. They also started an exchange program, allowing women from other parts of the world to come and learn and share their skills at the atelier. Expansion has brought new challenges, but also new opportunities for growth and learning. Mariana and Vinicius have traveled to different countries, establishing partnerships and promoting sustainable fashion and female empowerment. "We are reaching more people than we ever imagined," said Vinicius during one of his trips. "Our work is really making a difference." Mariana felt fulfilled, knowing that her dream of positively impacting people's lives was becoming a global reality. Fabio, now more involved than ever, was also traveling with them, bringing his innovative ideas and helping to expand the brand. "I'm so proud of you, Fabio," said Mariana, watching her son present a new collection at an international trade fair. "You're following your own dreams and helping to build something wonderful." The lives of Mariana, Vinicius, Fabio, and Isabella continued to be a journey of growth and transformation. Each new challenge was an opportunity to learn and evolve, and each achievement, proof that with courage, determination, and mutual support, it is possible to achieve the impossible. And so Mariana's story continued, now on a global scale, but always guided by the same principles of love, solidarity, and the relentless pursuit of a better future for all. With the studio's international expansion, Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio were busier than ever. Mariana's creations were now being sold all over the world, and her mission to empower women through sewing and entrepreneurship was reaching an ever wider audience. One day, while working on a new collection, they received exciting news. Mariana had been nominated for a prestigious International Social Entrepreneurship Award. The award recognized leaders who had made a significant positive impact in their communities and beyond. "That's incredible, Mariana," exclaimed Vinicius, hugging her enthusiastically. "You deserve this recognition." Mariana felt a mixture of joy and humility. She had never sought recognition, but knowing that her work was being valued at an international level was a great honor. "It's an achievement for all of us," she said, thrilled. "Without you, Fabio, Isabella, and all the women who work with us, None of this would be possible. The awards ceremony would be held in New York, and Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio prepared for the trip. They would also take some of the women who worked in the studio as a symbol of the collective strength and community impact of their work. Arriving in New York, they were warmly welcomed by the event organizers. The city was vibrant, and the atmosphere of the ceremony was one of celebration and inspiration. Mariana was nervous but also excited to share her story and meet other inspiring leaders. "You look beautiful, Mama," said Fabio, as he helped Mariana get ready for the ceremony. "Thank you, my love," she replied, smiling. "I'm very proud of you too." During the ceremony, Mariana was called up to the stage to receive the award. She felt her heart pound as she walked to the center, with Vinicius and Fabio applauding proudly in the audience. "I am deeply honored to receive this award," said Mariana, with emotion in her voice. "This recognition is not just mine, but that of all the women who work with me, who fight every day to build a better future. Together, we are proving that, with courage and determination, we can transform our lives and our communities." Mariana's speech was met with a standing ovation. She felt a wave of gratitude and fulfillment, knowing that her work was making a real and lasting difference. After the ceremony, Mariana was approached by several leaders and entrepreneurs interested in collaborating and supporting her work. The opportunities for expansion and impact were immense, and she was determined to make the most of them. Back in Brazil, Mariana's victory was celebrated with great enthusiasm by the community. The studio continued to thrive, now with even greater visibility and new partnerships that brought resources and opportunities. Mariana decided to use part of the prize to create a scholarship fund for young women interested in fashion and entrepreneurship. She wanted to ensure that more people had access to the opportunities she had and could follow their own dreams. "We are building a legacy," said Vinicius as they planned their next steps. "A legacy of hope, empowerment, and transformation. And that's just the beginning," replied Mariana with a determined smile. Life continued to bring new challenges and achievements, but Mariana knew that, with the support of her family and community, she could face anything. Every day was a new opportunity to grow and make a difference, and every achievement was proof that with love and determination, it is possible to achieve the impossible. Recognition and new partnerships further strengthened Mariana's atelier, turning it into a model of social entrepreneurship and sustainable fashion. But with success came new challenges and important decisions. One day, while they were discussing the next steps for the atelier, Vinicius made an unexpected proposal. "Text here," she said after a moment's reflection, "but we need to make sure we don't lose our essence and the values that brought us here." Vinicius agreed, knowing that the atelier's authenticity and mission were fundamental to its success. They decided to accept the offer, but on the condition that the new branch would maintain the same principles of sustainability and community empowerment. With the decision made, preparations began for the expansion. Mariana traveled to São Paulo several times, meeting partners and laying the foundations for the new branch. Fabio, now more experienced and enthusiastic, was also actively involved in the process. "I'm so proud of you, Fabio," said Mariana during one of the trips. "Your talent and dedication are inspiring." "I learned from the best," replied Fabio, smiling. The new branch opened with great anticipation. The local community welcomed the studio with open arms, and the first few weeks were full of activity and learning. Mariana and Vinicius worked tirelessly to ensure that everything ran smoothly and that the new team integrated with the values and methods of the original atelier. Meanwhile, at home, Isabella remained a constant and inspiring presence. She led courses and workshops, sharing her wisdom and experiences with the women of the community. "Your great-aunt is an incredible woman," said one of the students during one of the courses. "I've learned so much from her. She's really special," agreed Mariana, feeling deeply grateful for having Isabella in her life. The expansion to São Paulo brought new challenges, but also new opportunities for growth and impact. The studio has become a reference point in the city, attracting attention and recognition for its innovative and transformative work. "We are reaching more and more people," said Vinicius during a planning meeting. And that's just the beginning. Mariana felt fulfilled, but knew that the journey was far from over. Each new branch, each new course, was a chance to transform more lives and take the message of hope and empowerment even further. As she walked around the studio, watching the women work and chatting animatedly, Mariana felt a wave of gratitude and pride. She knew that, with the support of her family and community, she could face any challenge and continue building a bright future for everyone. And so Mariana's story continued, always guided by the same principles of love, solidarity, and the tireless search for a better future. Every day was a new opportunity to grow, learn, and transform, and every achievement was proof that, with courage and determination, it is possible to achieve the impossible. With the expansion to São Paulo and growing international recognition, Mariana and Vinicius realized the need to intensify their commitment to sustainability. The atelier was already known for its ecological practices, but the growing scale of the business demanded an even more rigorous approach. "We need to ensure that our expansion doesn't compromise our environmental values," said Mariana during a planning meeting. "Sustainability must be at the core of everything we do." Vinicius agreed and suggested creating a team dedicated exclusively to sustainability, responsible for implementing and monitoring green practices at every stage of production. "Let's hire specialists and invest in green technologies," he said. "We can lead by example and inspire other businesses to do the same." The decision was well received by the team and the community. They hired sustainability experts and began a complete overhaul of their production processes, from the choice of materials to waste management. "This is more than a trend," said Clara, one of the atelier's partners. "It's an urgent need, and I'm glad you're leading this movement." They implemented practices such as using organic and recycled fabrics, using natural dyes, and adopting production methods that minimized water and energy consumption. They also began educating their employees and the community about the importance of sustainability, organizing workshops and events. "Every little action counts," said Mariana during one of these workshops. "Together we can make a big difference." The commitment to sustainability not only strengthened the atelier's image, but also attracted new clients and partners who shared the same values. The demand for sustainable products was growing, and Mariana saw this as an opportunity to further expand her positive impact. "We're on the right track," said Vinicius as they reviewed the results of the new practices. "Customers are responding well and our environmental impact is decreasing." Fabio, now more involved than ever, also came up with innovative ideas for sustainability. He suggested creating a line of fully recycled products made from leftover fabric and other discarded materials. "We can turn what would be garbage into fashion," he said excitedly, "and show that sustainability can be creative and stylish." The line of recycled products was a success, receiving praise for both its innovation and quality. Mariana felt proud of her son and all the progress they were making. "You're an inspiration, Fabio," she said, when she saw one of the recycled creations featured in a fashion magazine. "Your talent and commitment are remarkable." As they continued to implement and expand their sustainable practices, Mariana and Vinicius also began to explore ways of sharing their knowledge and experience with other entrepreneurs. "We need to create a sustainability training center," suggested Vinicius. "We can help other businesses adopt green practices and make a difference." Mariana agreed, and together they began to plan the training center. They would offer courses, workshops, and consultancy to small and medium-sized businesses, helping them to become more sustainable and responsible. The training center was inaugurated with great anticipation and enthusiasm. The community and international partners attended the event, celebrating another significant step in Mariana and Vinicius's journey. "This is just the beginning," said Mariana during the inauguration. "Together, we can build a greener and fairer future for everyone." Life continued to bring new challenges and achievements, but Mariana knew that, with the support of her family and community, she could face anything. Every day was a new opportunity to grow, learn, and transform, and every achievement was proof that, with courage and determination, it is possible to achieve the impossible. With the success of the Sustainability Training Center, Mariana and Vinicius realized that there was a growing demand for quality education in the area of sustainable fashion and social entrepreneurship. They then decided to expand their educational initiatives even further by creating a school dedicated to these topics. "We need to train the next generation of sustainable leaders," said Mariana as they discussed the plans. "A school could be the lasting legacy of our work." Vinicius agreed and suggested creating a comprehensive curriculum that would combine theory and practice, covering everything from sewing techniques and design to business management and sustainable practices. "Let's prepare these young people for the future," he said excitedly, "and make sure they have the tools they need to make a difference." Construction of the school began with the support of partners and donations from companies that believed in Mariana's vision. They chose a strategic location in the city, accessible to the local community, and with enough space for classrooms, workshops, and living areas. While construction progressed, Mariana and Vinicius recruited teachers and specialists to develop the curriculum and teach classes. They wanted to ensure that the school offered a high-quality education, combining theoretical knowledge with practical experience. "We want our students to leave here ready to lead," said Mariana during a meeting with the new teachers, "and that they feel they can really change the world." The inauguration of the school was an important milestone for the community. Parents and students were enthusiastic about the opportunities the new institution offered, and the opening ceremony was an exciting event, with inspiring speeches and demonstrations of skills. "This school is a dream come true," said an emotional Mariana during the ceremony, "a place where everyone can learn, grow, and build a better future." The first few months of the school's operation were intense but rewarding. The students showed great enthusiasm and dedication, and the teachers worked hard to create a stimulating and inclusive learning environment. "I'm so proud of what we're building here," said Mariana while observing a practical design class. "This is the future." Vinicius was also actively involved in the school, offering talks and workshops on entrepreneurship and sustainability. He knew he was helping to shape the next generation of leaders and innovators. "We are planting the seeds for a bright future," he said during one of his lectures, "and those seeds will grow and transform the world." Fabio, now a young adult, also contributed to the school, bringing his ideas and experiences to classes and projects. He saw the school as a natural extension of the work his family had been doing and felt proud to be part of it. "Education is the key to change," he said, while helping to organize a sustainable design event. "And we're providing that key for our students." The school quickly gained recognition for its innovative curriculum and its impact on the community. Students and alumni began to excel in competitions and launch their own sustainable businesses, furthering Mariana and Vinicius's mission. "We're seeing the fruits of our labor," said Mariana when she heard from a former student who had launched a sustainable fashion line. "That's all I ever wanted." As they continued to expand and improve the school, Mariana and Vinicius felt fulfilled and motivated to continue. They knew they were building something lasting and impactful, a true legacy of love, education, and sustainability. And so life went on with new challenges and achievements, but always guided by the same principles of love, solidarity, and the tireless search for a better future. Every day was a new opportunity to grow, learn, and transform, and every achievement was proof that, with courage and determination, it is possible to achieve the impossible. With the success of the school and the continuous expansion of the studio, Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio were at a moment of great fulfillment. However, life has a way of throwing up unexpected challenges, and they were about to face one of their biggest yet. One day, while working in the studio, Mariana began to feel a persistent pain in her chest. At first, she ignored the symptoms, attributing them to stress and workload. But the pain got worse, and Vinicius insisted that she see a doctor. "Mariana, you need to take care of yourself," he said, worried. "Let's go to the hospital now." At the hospital, after a series of tests, they received shocking news. Mariana had a serious heart problem that required urgent surgery. "How could this be happening?" Mariana asked in tears. "We have so much to do, so many plans." Vinicius held her hand, trying to convey strength and calm. "We'll get through this together, Mariana," he said firmly. "You're strong and we're all here for you." The news deeply shook the family and the community. Mariana was the cornerstone of the studio and the school, and the possibility of losing her was unthinkable. However, the adversity also revealed the incredible support network they had built up over the years. "We're with you, Mariana," said Clara, on behalf of all the studio staff. "You taught us never to give up, and now it's our turn to give back." With the support of Vinicius, Fabio, and the whole community, Mariana prepared for the surgery. Fear was inevitable, but she felt strengthened by the love and support of everyone around her. "Mom, you're going to be fine," said Fabio, his eyes full of tears, but determined to be strong. "We need you." The surgery was long and complex, but the doctors were optimistic. After several hours of tension, they finally received the news they had been waiting for. The operation had been a success. "Mariana is a strong woman," said the surgeon after the operation. "With time and care, she should make a full recovery." Recovery has been a period of challenge and reflection for Mariana. Forced to slow down, she learned to delegate more responsibilities and trust the team she had formed. "You don't have to carry the world alone," said Vinicius as he looked after her. "We're all here to share the burden." During her recovery, Mariana received countless visits and messages of support from students, staff, and members of the community. Everyone wanted to show her how important she was and the positive impact she had had on their lives. "You are an inspiration to us all," said one of the school's students during a visit. "We're rooting for your recovery." Over time, Mariana began to feel stronger. Although she still had a long way to go, she was determined to get back to work and continue her mission. "This experience has taught me a lot," she said, reflecting on the last few months. "We need to value every moment and every person in our lives." Mariana's return to the studio and school was a moment of great celebration. She was greeted with applause and hugs, feeling more grateful and motivated than ever. "We're ready to continue our journey," she said with a smile. "And I know that together we can overcome any challenge." And so life went on, full of challenges and achievements, but always guided by the same principles of love, solidarity, and the tireless search for a better future. Every day was a new opportunity to grow, learn, and transform, and every achievement was proof that, with courage and determination, it is possible to achieve the impossible. With Mariana recovered and back at work, life in the studio and at school resumed its vibrant pace. The community was more united than ever, and everyone was determined to make every moment count. To commemorate Mariana's recovery and the positive impact the atelier and school had had on so many people's lives, they decided to organize a big celebration event. It would be an opportunity to bring the community together, share stories, and look to the future with hope and determination. "Let's make this event unforgettable," said Vinicius while planning the details with the team. "It's a celebration of everything we've achieved together." The event, called Celebration of Life, was held in the studio's large garden, which was decorated with flowers, lights, and the most beautiful creations by Mariana and her students. All members of the community, business partners, students, and their families were invited. Mariana was overjoyed, surrounded by friends and family. She felt deeply grateful to be alive and to be able to continue her work. As she walked through the event, she received hugs and words of affection from everyone. "You are the soul of this place, Mariana," said Clara, moved. "We're all here because of you." Fabio, now a young adult, organized a special presentation showing the evolution of the studio and the school through photos and videos. The presentation was a success, and everyone was thrilled to see the transformative impact of Mariana's work. "I'm very proud of everything we've built," said Fabio at the end of the presentation, "and I know that this is just the beginning." During the event, there were fashion shows, musical performances, and inspiring speeches. Vinicius made a point of highlighting the role of each person in the atelier's successful journey. "This place is proof of what we can achieve when we work together," he said with a smile. "And that's thanks to each and every one of you." Isabella, always a beloved figure in the community, also gave a moving speech, reminding everyone of the importance of valuing family, friendship, and teamwork. "This is a celebration of life, love, and hope," she said with tears in her eyes, "and I'm grateful to be a part of it." Mariana, alongside Vinicius and Fabio, took to the stage to give her final speech. Her heart was full of gratitude and emotion. "This celebration is about all of us," she began, her voice shaking with emotion, "about our struggles, our victories, and our determination to make a difference. I thank each and every one of you for being here, for believing, and for being part of this journey." She paused, looking at the emotional faces of the crowd. "I've learned that life is precious and that every moment counts," she continued. "Let's keep working together, supporting each other and building a better future for everyone." The crowd gave a standing ovation, moved and inspired by Mariana's words. The celebration continued with music, dancing, and lots of joy, symbolizing a new beginning for everyone. And so the story of Mariana, Vinicius, and Fabio continued, always guided by the same principles of love, solidarity, and the tireless search for a better future. Every day was a new opportunity to grow, learn, and transform. And every achievement was proof that with courage and determination, it is possible to achieve the impossible.